Okay, the first thing you're going to do is decide if the two matrices you're about to multiply can be multiplied. So those are going to be fun, because if you can't, you just put can't do, no product exists. Yeah, no solution.
Does not exist.
Yeah. You just put something that shows me you can't go any further. And let's look at this. If we're looking at, let's say, number, on that top part, let's look at number 1. It says matrix A is a 2 by 5, and matrix B is a 5 by 1. And they're asking, can this be multiplied? And if so, what's the dimension of the answer when you do multiply it, okay? And this is really weird, but all you do is you look at the two dimensions, and I'm going to put them side by side. First guy first, second guy, right? And you circle those two middle guys. If they are the same, then the answer is yes, you can multiply these two matrices. And the dimension of the matrix are the two that are going to be out in the cold, 2 by 1. You see how this is a 2 and a 1? That's the dimension of the answer, okay? So when I multiply a 2 by 5 and a 5 by 1, I get a 2 by 1 result, and it can be multiplied. You can check all of this in your calculator. So when you do matrices, if you're not checking on your calculator, oh well. I don't give partial credit, because I know you can check them and you can make sure you're right or not. What does a 2 by 1 look like? It's 2 rows and 1 column. So it's going to be like this. The result's going to be 2 numbers. You're going to have a number here and a number here. And that's what it's going to look like when you multiply a 2 by 5 and a 5 by 1. Okay? Now let's say we have the same problem but in reverse. Let's say we have A is a 5 by 1 and B is a 2 by 5. Now in this case you have 5 by 1 and 2 by 5. When you circle the two middle guys, they're not the same, so you cannot multiply those two. First thing we did is decide if something can be multiplied. So I want you to put the dimensions on the section in the bottom and tell me something that can be multiplied. Give me a problem that can be multiplied. I'll give you a couple minutes to put the dimensions in. Remember, dimensions are rows by columns. So number 7, what do we have? What's that first one? How many rows do we have?
We have a 1 by 2. And
No, there's, okay, yeah, 1 by 2. Anna?
2 by 1.
2 by 1. So is this a yes or a no?
That's a yes.
It's a yes. All right. Find me, so put that it's a yes, so you know when you do your work. So now we're going to write that problem down, and that's a 3, 2, and a 2, 1. And remember we did like the shape of a 7? And what's our answer going to be? What's the dimension of the answer going to be? The 2 that got left out in the cold when we circled the second guy, the middle guys. It's a 1 by 1. Look at this. This is the 2 that got left out in the cold is what the answer is going to be. So 1 by 1 is just one number. Those two multiplied together equal one number, okay? Now you're going to remember what you did when you took your left hand and went left to right, and your right hand and went up and down. You're going to remember that, right? You made a shape of the 7 like somebody said. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 times 2 plus 2 times 1. You see how you went left or right? And the answer to this is a matrix that has a 8 in it. To check this, go ahead and put in this matrix here as a 1 by 2 as matrix A, and this matrix here as matrix B in your calculator, and then just do A times B in your calculator. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so we figured out that we've got a 2 and a 2 here, and so the answer is going to be a 3 by 2. Everybody got that? So let's find this one. To get the first number, you're going to do the first row and the first column. So it's going to be negative 4 times 3 plus 4 times 0, which is negative 12, because 4 times 0 is 0. So that's the first one. Now we're still on the first row because we have another column. So to get that second one up there, you're going to do negative 4 times negative 3 plus 4 times 2. Does everybody see what I'm doing? First row, second column, okay? And that's going to be 12 plus 8 is 20. Now we're done with that first row. We're going to go to the second row and distribute it again. So we've got negative 2 times 3 plus 1 times 0, which is negative 6. And we do it with the second column now. We have negative 2 times negative 3 plus 1 times 2. And that is 6 plus 2 is 8. Got it? We're done with that second row. Now we're going to do this third row. And that's going to be 2 times 3 plus 3 times 0, which is 6. And the last row and the last column is 2 times negative 3 plus 3 times 2. And I believe that's a 0. Now I want you to check that on your calculators. Put in the left, the A and the B, and multiply them together.